There's a certain SpongeBob episode that I watched today because I had seen a scene from it that was pretty telling, so I thought I'd watch the whole episode to get the full context. The episode is called Squid-Ville, and if you're relatively familiar with the show and have seen a few of the episodes, many of them, you've probably seen this one. But there was something pretty important about it that I'd say is worth talking about, so if you're interested, then stay tuned. This channel exists to encourage you to continue to be a good person through lessons that are primarily rooted in biblical and Stoic principles. So, without further ado, let's get into today's lesson from the SpongeBob episode, Squid-Ville. To quickly explain the plot of the episode, Squidward is essentially on his last nerve. It's the last straw for him, if you will. And he's threatening to move somewhere else because the neighborhood that he lives in is right next to, well, his house is right in between SpongeBob and Patrick, and they're just, as I said, they're really just starting to get on his nerves to the point that he does actually move away, and he moves to what is called Squid-Ville. Upon his arrival, before he even makes it to his new house, he runs into a squid there, and they start kind of throwing insults back and forth. He's like, oh, Squidward said something about, yeah, there's a meeting for stupid people, don't be late, or something like that. And again, they're both going back and forth. And the realization here is that, oh, that guy was acting just like Squidward. And I suppose it does have to be pointed out that Squidward, though he had like a sour conversation with his new neighbor, it did seem like he almost appreciated that the guy speaks more so his speed and is like him in that way. But the point remains that he did get over that, and he did find out, it's like, yeah, this sucks. Being with a lot of people like this sucks. So I just had to point out that caveat, I guess. And as you know, in the episode, he's living what he thinks is this perfect life. And this episode actually has quite a few things that could be mentioned, but I'll just stick to the one principle for this video. But as he's living in what he thought was his paradise, he starts to kind of get bored of it, and not even just bored of it, but sick of it. As the episode's coming to a close, he even says, "This town is a grievance. There should be a law against so many stuck-up tightwads living in one place." And it is interesting, once again, because the people that he's gotten so sick of essentially have his character. They're at the same level in their character development. So the lesson, or the question rather, is, would even you appreciate or enjoy hanging out with you? And it's a serious question. I mean, there are those that would answer, it's like, oh yeah, I'm cool, man, of course I would like to hang out. But no, just like the joking aside, and this isn't in terms of your personality, though some people would call their bad character their personality. And it's like, oh, that's just me, bro. It's like, no. The question is in regards to your character, and be honest. Would you want to hang out with you? And yes, there's the argument of, oh, since I could relate to myself, regardless of my personality, yeah, sure, I would like to. But I don't think that's even true. Now, anyone watching this video would probably, and I would hope they would say, yes, you would like to hang out with you because you work on your character. You watch videos like this to help you improve your character, or at least to be encouraged in some way. So again, the answer is most likely yes. But I suppose the lesson then is continue to make sure you're someone that even you would want to hang out with. The idea being, if everyone had your character, would that be a good world? The relevant verses that go along with this idea are exactly what I say in my outro all the time. The golden rule, for starters, treat people the same way you want them to treat you. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this: love your neighbor as yourself. There is no greater commandment than these. A teacher of the law asked Jesus what the greatest commandment was, and this was Jesus' response. To paraphrase it, love God and love your neighbor as yourself. I read this quote in a recent video, but it's applicable here as well. I don't even want to attempt to pronounce the woman's name because I will probably butcher it, but nonetheless, I will read the quote because it is so important. "I shall pass this way but once. Any good that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not Bro, why can't I read? Let me not defer nor neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again." So, to reiterate, Just think of Squidward. He went to a town full of people just like him, and he hated it. May that never be said of you. And again, anyone watching, especially even this far into the video, I'm sure that's not the case with you, but just continue to make that the case, I suppose. Thank you for watching. Do check out my series I'm doing on lessons from the movie Thanksgiving. I've made, I think, 3 videos at this point, and more are on the way, so stay tuned for that. And like I said, watch the episodes that are out now if that's of interest to you. As always, it's an honor.